Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I am pretty good. It is 10 a.m. Central Time, and I am in Midlothian, Texas at Gerdau Midlothian Mill. First off, I made a video for yesterday, but when I went to review it, to upload it, it really didn't even make any sense to me. So I just opted not to do it. There really wasn't much. It was only like 4 minutes long. So those short ones are nice. It was a rambling mess because I was not coherent when I did it. When last we talked on Friday, I was getting ready to finish unloading, heading back to Grand Prairie after being called in on my standby day. Got in and told I was going to be on standby again. I think I mentioned that yesterday, but the likelihood was very low that I was going to get a load, which means I was going to get a load. If you remember, I was debating about whether to go ahead and move in my truck, and all that good stuff. In retrospect, I wish I had gone ahead and moved it, even though it would have cost me a bunch of out-of-route miles. It would have saved me a lot of headache yesterday evening. I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up for yesterday morning for about 45 minutes, and the phone never rang. I never got a call, and that's usually when they call, between 4 and 4:30. Well, they didn't call, so I went back to sleep. I woke up at 7:15, something like that, and with a call saying they had a hot load that needed to go. And they needed me to do it, and there may be some others behind it. He specifically mentioned going to Terrell 3 or 4 times. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Not because Terrell's a bad place, it's because it would take, there's no way I could do that because it would be 3 hours each time. Well, the load that they gave me was a Tyler, and it was relatively hot. It was a full load of lumber, and it was for to bolster up the stock of what they were being bought out of, or had been bought out of on Sunday because of the tornadoes in East Texas. If you've been watching the news, Canton, Henderson, Rains, and Van Zandt counties were getting the bulk of the news, but there was a lot of severe weather all over East Texas, all along the I-20 corridor on Saturday, and the Home Depots were just being bought out of everything, roofing and OSB board, sheeting, and lumber, just all this good stuff. Well, I had a full truck of plywood, or we call it OSB, and so I got up once I became coherent, because I was completely psyched back out. Got to the yard, got the load, and as typical, I had to waste 30 minutes or so completely pulling all the straps off that the preloaders had put on and redoing them because they weren't correct. Got to Tyler, took about 2.5 hours, and because of traffic and everything else, got that unloaded and started heading back, and it looked like I wasn't going to get anything else, which was nice. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and just as I was getting close, they told me they had another one they needed me to do, and I was going to go to Louisville, and it was going to be another simple one. And I said, okay, I'll do it. Ran up and got in there and got it. It was shingles, so all I had to do was fix one of their straps, and then throw 2 more, and then take off. I got to Louisville about 3:30 in the afternoon, but when I got there, I found out that there was another driver there delivering from the Home Depot DC, and he had been there an hour and a half waiting. Apparently they were getting ready to unload him, and their forklift broke down. We went to get the other one, and it wouldn't start, so they were waiting for the service company to come out and work on it. Well, long story short, I was there about 45 minutes. They came back out and said that they weren't going to be able to get out there and fix them today. But what they were going to do is they were going to get the reach lift, which is a lift they use inside the store to come out and unload the trucks. And we both had just shingles. But he took a long time because those things are very, very slow and very, very cumbersome, and they really won't pick up a lot. They'll pick up one pallet of shingles at a time. So I got out of there about 5 o'clock and then started heading down. My wife met me at the Home Depot DC at 6, as I had already been confirmed that I was not going to go back to there, full time or whatever. And she helped me move the big truck over to Atomic and then drove me back to the Home Depot so I could get my pickup truck. Stopped and picked up Church's chicken for dinner, went home and just completely, that was it. Went to bed last night relatively late. My wife's not feeling too good, so her coughing's kind of keeping her up. Went to bed, I guess it was about 11 o'clock, and I woke up this morning at 5:30 and checked my phone, and I hadn't been given a preload, or a pre-plan or anything. So I kind of just was lazy this morning. At I think it was 7:45 this morning. I still hadn't heard anything, so I started getting ready to leave, to go ahead and head over to the truck, and called my fleet manager, and he said, yeah, they kind of forgot about me, and they were going to find me something. And so I started heading in. It was a really long drive in this morning. Traffic was just absolutely ridiculously bad. It's like that all the time in Dallas, but this morning for some reason there were slowdowns in places there's never slowdowns, and just traffic was just ultra heavy. I'm not sure what the deal was. And but as I got closer to Atomic, they did send me a load over here. They sent me a message telling me they head to Gerdau, and I told them okay. And then as I was pulling off the Atomic yard, I got a message with this load. Unfortunately, the load appointment was supposed to be 9 a.m. and I didn't get here until 9:45. But that was because of traffic, because it took over 45 minutes to drive 20 miles because of all the heavy traffic. Once I got south of 20, it was no problem, but there's just accidents and all kinds of stuff everywhere, and the city's in a turmoil. Yesterday was just a red letter day all over the nation as far as violence and things happening to people. We had I think we had 3 major murders here in Dallas yesterday. Some woman, or DFW anyway, some woman was shot and killed in her car at Ridgemar Mall. They caught that suspect. We had the manhunt in East Dallas after a guy shot a paramedic. It ended up being that he had a fight with his neighbor, shot and killed the neighbor, then shot the paramedic and ran away, and then killed somebody else, and then killed himself. That's what it looks like. And then we had that kid that got killed in Balch Springs on Sunday night by the police. I'm not criticizing any of it, but man, the world is just going to hell in a handbasket, for lack of a better phrase. I'm not really sure what the craziness is. I generally don't talk about politics or events or anything like that, but it's just kind of something I need to say and get off my chest. I talk to my wife and my friends about it all the time, but I don't generally use YouTube as a platform. The world is going insane. Just freaking insane all over. I'm not sure what the problem is. I mean, we got Trump in office, and there's nothing really wrong with him other than he's excessively rich, and in my opinion, just my opinion, what better person to run a business, which the country is a business, than a businessman? People may not like him. I may not like him, but at least people got to give him a chance, and people aren't even giving him a chance. But violence it seems like they're always telling us that the statistics are the lowest they've ever been. Maybe it's media, maybe it's the availability of instant news. But the world is just, it seems like a crazier place every day. And as I drive around and I listen to the radio, because I listen to news radio a lot, especially now that I'm on this regional route, because I don't have the time to turn on an audiobook because I'm getting out as soon as it starts getting good. And it's just, people need to take a step back and look at what's really going on. It's just crazy. The current generation's coming up, millennials, I guess they're called. I don't keep up with that. I have a sense of entitlement beyond anything that people that grew up in the 60s and 70s like me did. I grew up in the 70s, playing outside, getting hurt, skinning my knees and all that stuff. And then I grew up in the 80s with all that it entails, and everybody knows what the 80s was like. And ever since I say the middle 90s, and the internet started taking off and all, the world is, it ain't getting any better as far as society wise goes. We got a lot of better stuff, but all that better stuff has made people, I don't know. Humanity in and of itself is lacking in quality, in my opinion. There you go. My first discourse on this tube. I used to do it all the time back when I ran my old channel. Not anymore. Maybe I'll change. Let me know what you think. Because if you guys want to hear my opinions about the world, I got plenty of them. And think about it. From former military and law enforcement to truck driver. I'll tell y'all right now, and I think I've said this before, I'm not rabid, but I am a dedicated Reagan conservative, which means constitutional libertarian. Look it up. Well, there you go. Back to trucking, which is really what this channel is about, and this is already becoming a long video. Wow, 12 minutes. I got this load here. It's not going very far. It's only going 30 miles up the road into Dallas from Midlothian, and it pays pretty good, providing I can get loaded and get the hell out of here. And then I'll probably pick up something after that. And when I get over there to get rid of this, and I find out what I'm doing next, we'll talk again. Good afternoon, YouTube. How are you this afternoon? I'm pretty good, but I could be better. Let's see. It is 3 o'clock Central Time, and I'm at Cochler Metals in Dallas, Texas. When last we talked, I think it was 10 o'clock, and I was in Midlothian at Gerdau waiting to get loaded. I sat there till I think 1 o'clock in line waiting to get loaded. Forklift driver finally came and got me just after 1, and that was about a 45-minute ordeal of him trying to get that stuff on there. It ended up being a stack of 50-foot I-beams, and then one stack of 8, and then 4 bundles of some kind of square rod or tube or block or something. They were 40 feet long, and he kept messing with it and moving it around and doing all kinds of stuff until I finally told him, I said, just put the 50s in the exact middle of the trailer and put 2 40s on either side. And he's like, oh, that'll work, you know, because he was trying to put the 40s on and was going to put the 50 on top of it, and that's all this other stuff, and it was just not working. Once he got it on there, I was able to throw a couple chains on it, get around, scale out. That took about 20 minutes, and then pull up and throw my chains on for the rest of the load. That only took about 15 minutes tops, and then I took off and got here. I got here at just after 2 o'clock. No, excuse me. Sorry, I can't read the clock. I got here at 2:45, and or something like that. Sorry, I got here at 2:31. There you go. I'm just not with it, as you can tell from today's rambling video. Got here at 2:31. Found out that they stopped receiving at noon, and it's a hard stop receiving. Well, I walked around, talked to a few people, and went into shipping and talked to them about it. And they looked at what I had, and they pulled up my invoice and said, "Yeah, I was supposed to be here at 11." Well, it's not my fault. I mean, it kind of is, because I didn't get to Midlothian until late, but it's not my fault Midlothian took that long. One comment on that: there was a guy two trucks in front of me from TMC that I was talking to. He had been there since 7:15. They had two loaders working up on the hill today, and it was just slow. I don't know what was going on, but it was said. Well, she looked at it, and apparently one of the bundles of stuff that I have, a customer is currently back ordered on and has been waiting since Friday for. So they took pity on me. Sorry about that. It took him less than 10 minutes to get that stuff off, and he's done. Wow, so I'm all done. And it's 3:15. Jeez Louise. All my stuff's put away as well. Well, they needed one bundle of the 5 I had on here. So the shipping clerk talked to the shift supervisor, and he said, yeah, go ahead and help him out and get it off. But I was supposed to remind Maverick that they have a 12 o'clock hard cutoff. And if the guy hadn't been here doing some other stuff, even though he would have already gone home for the day, it wouldn't have got off today. I would have had to leave and come back because they don't allow overnight parking. So, luck is luck. I do have another load. I am picking up down at Midlothian again, and I'm taking that over to Fort Worth. However, that load does not load till tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. So, I am roughly 10 miles or so from Atomic, so I'm going to go park the truck and go home for the night because it's 3:15 in the afternoon, and I'm not sitting in my truck in front of Midlothian till tomorrow morning. So I'll get up in the morning and drive in, get my truck, drive down to Midlothian, get that load, take it to Fort Worth, and tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I'll have a better day as far as doing loads and whatever. I mean, I did make $175 today just doing one load, but I need more than that. So, that's pretty much about it. I guess we will talk tomorrow morning when I load or when I unload in Fort Worth. Just depends on how it goes. So until tomorrow, keep the shiny side up, 73s. Be safe.